Hey, welcome to Board Game Casual. I love a good board gaming accessory, especially ones that are really useful. And today we're talking about a very handy accessory for the tabletop that you might not have ever considered. These small rechargeable LED table lamps. You might have seen lights like these at restaurants. That's certainly where I first saw them and thought, these would be perfect for gaming. They're wireless, so they can be easily moved or passed around, and they have a really small footprint, so they won't take up much space. If you're like me, you do a lot of your gaming at night, and you might not always have control over the lighting in the room. Maybe there's too much glare, or the lights are down low to set the mood, and as board gamers, I'm sure we can all relate to having to read tiny text on a card, or having to decipher between similar colors in dim lighting. Is that symbol green or is it blue? So it's really handy when someone can just reach over the table and slide one of these lamps near them for just a little bit more light. In fact, maybe you've been in a situation where people have taken out their phones and turned on their flashlight for a better look at something on the board. These lamps are so much more convenient by comparison and provide a softer, warmer light. This particular set is a pair by Maglaw from Amazon, which cost around $40. However, there are all sorts of different brands, styles, and shapes to choose from, as well as different colors and finishes. What I like about this design in particular is that it's an indirect light focused downward, so it lights up what's on the table without shining into your face. In fact, one of the things I hate about game tables with built-in lighting is that those LED strips face outward, and they're kind of blinding when looking across the table. So if you're looking to get something like these, I highly recommend lamps that focus the light downward than those designs that light up in all directions. This set charges off of USB-C and they seem to last quite a while. They claim something like 8 to 12 hours of runtime for this 3000 milliamp model, and I've definitely gone multiple game sessions before needing a charge. I've also seen other slightly pricier brands with 6,000 milliamp capacities if you're looking for something with longer run times. If you play a lot of really long game sessions, it might be nice to go with a bit of a higher capacity. This set has two brightness settings controlled by touch. This little thing here isn't actually a button, it's just a touch sensor. And honestly, I only really use the brightest setting, so I'm not sure how useful it really is to have multiple settings. This particular set is a bit larger than the ones I've seen in restaurants, and admittedly, I like the aesthetics of the really slim, smaller ones better. The last time I saw a set in the restaurant I liked, I took a picture of the bottom and looked up the brand Zafferano, and by comparison, it cost something like $140 for a single lamp. So I'd much rather stick to my $40 pair. If anything, I might experiment with another brand to see if I can find a cheaper clone of the Zafferano Pina, but honestly, most people would probably be hard-pressed to even see the difference unless they were side by side. I've got the links to the set I bought down in the description. Overall, I've really been liking these rechargeable table lamps, and I highly recommend getting something like this for your game table. Even if you're just keeping them turned off to the side, that's sort of what I do, they make it really easy for someone to grab one as needed when they just need a little bit more light to see, even if it's just to get a better look at the artwork. You can get one or two for the table that can easily be passed around, but the cheaper brands make it affordable enough that you could buy one for each player to have their own. I chose this Maglaw brand based on the looks, price, and the reviews, and so far they've been great. I certainly recommend them if you're looking for something similar. However, if you're looking to have really long gaming sessions where these are your primary light source, or want to go multiple nights without having to recharge, then you might be interested in spending a little more for a pair with a larger capacity, like the 6,000 milliamp hour models. And if table space is a really big concern, definitely look through the options, as I think some of these models may have smaller bases than others, which would save a little room. Another reason I really like those Pina lamps. If you've tried any other small lamps like these, please let me know which brand and model you recommend or don't recommend down in the comments. And if anyone's found the perfect cheap Pina clone, let me know. By the way, with gift giving season right around the corner, These make a great gift for the board gamer in your life. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing. And I'll see you next time here on Board Game Casual.